Done Course of Miracles number 41, took a little time off. One of the main reasons why is sort of the topic of this video. I like to have positive topics, but basically I said your powerlessness and your helplessness is the source of your misery. And in the last few days or week or so, I've been struggling a little bit. Having some misery is a way to put it. So I had a heart procedure Monday. It went fine. It was just they hooked me up. They shocked me out of AFib. I have AFib. My heart misfires, and apparently I went out of it. I don't feel much different, and there's been other things that could contribute to my powerlessness and misery and helplessness in the last week. But on that regard, like I like to work out and play basketball. Now I got to take it easy and not get the heart rate up and not drink as many bubblers. I'm limited to, one bubbler a day, less caffeine. So it shouldn't be a big deal. Or maybe some people are like, oh, that's fine. Why would that be a problem? Well, I like to work out. I like to be active. So that is hard for me. And then just in general, you have a heart and you're like, it's not 100%. And probably, who knows if it will be 100%. So then it's like, that's not good. So that has been contributing to my misery. But then I continue to read the Course in Miracles, continue to get insight. And the other days I just couldn't come to sharing anything because I was feeling not good enough to share. And then I realized, when you read these things and think about helplessness, powerlessness, and misery, a lot of people go through that. And sometimes maybe it's helpful to share, even if you don't feel 100% or having a bad day or a bad stretch. It's helpful to hear about it. So I took some notes, but basically on this topic that we see ourselves as powerless and helpless, that is due to, not choosing happiness. You might be like, well, some things go well, then I'm happy. Some things don't go well, then I'm not happy. And that is part of the problem. And it was a realization today. I was reading the sections I was reading in the Course of Miracles because, a lot of times our happiness is based on, well, if this person does this way, I'm happier. The basketball team wins, I'm happier. Or if, I get a sale in real estate, then I'm happier. And that is not happiness. The deep, deep level of truth is happiness is constant, and the constancy does come from God. So obviously followers of Christ, followers of God, you probably heard this all your life, like your peace, your joy rests in the Lord. It's not on you. Yet in the world, like it doesn't happen consistently. We have the things that come up that knock you down, throw you off track, and you're like, well, now I'm not happy because this didn't happen. So having a little conversation about, let me look at my notes. And one of the notes I wrote down was, peace comes to those who choose to heal and not judge. Kind of like I talked about last time with the atonement and other things. Like I need healing, like literally in the heart and a couple other areas. Like my eye's not even doing well this week. Is like all coming back around. And part of that is like probably was choosing judgment over healing, and then choosing helplessness and powerlessness over happiness and peace. So we can choose peace. We can choose happiness. And I had a note on happiness here. I'm going to read, you decide against your happiness and you see it as ever changing, which is what I just talked about a little ago. Now it's here, then it's that, and now it's an elusive shadow. And basically all these things we chase for happiness, they're illusions, they're temporary, long-term view of them. A lot of times you'll forget they even happened. There are joyful moments that you remember and you can remember forever, and it's good to have those. But happiness is a different kind of choice. And I got another note on, just let me read the note here. Forget not that the choice of sin or truth, helplessness or power, is the choice whether to attack or heal. Healing comes of power, and attack comes from helplessness. So when we're in the state of helplessness, powerlessness, what we do is we actually normally attack others, put others down. And a lot of people are constantly doing that. We talked about this a lot in the last video as far as attack and atonement, but then you have the real life scenarios come up that you go through, which could be every day, depending on where you work, who you're around, or just in general, like I'm saying the last stretch of time for me, like I am making the choice. I'm making the choice of sin or truth. Truth is constancy. Truth is peace. Truth is happiness. But choosing other things, that happiness is here and then there, that is causing an issue for me and causes issues for somebody else. And then you have power or helplessness. Where's your power from? If you believe you're a son of God, then you have the power of the promises of God, the power of healing. And the main power in healing, like when we talk about Course in Miracles, miracles are expressions of love. Forgiveness is also expressions of love. So we have the option to choose happiness by choosing love, and giving forgiveness. And a lot of times we got to give it to ourselves, and that's how we get to the healing. So my major realization that I probably knew or perceived, but then you have the things come up is, boy, like really, if I am going to trust God and his truth, I just got to go around, be loving. That's a way to be in power. Be in a powerful spot instead of a powerless spot. I got to give the love. I got to give the peace. I've got to give the help and healing that somebody else needs, that I need. When you give that, you are in a powerful place. You are in a happy spot. And that's really what, even though I'm reading through the Course in Miracles, that's what the Bible teaches. That's what most sermons that somebody teaches on love would say. And that is a missing component a lot of times in our everyday life, because we're trying to chase the happiness instead of bring the happiness, bring the love, bring the peace. So hopefully I do better in these next days, because I was not feeling great these last few days. Part of that was my choices. Part of that was the circumstance, but then it was deciding how I interpret the circumstance that was also keeping me down. So hopefully that helps somebody out there. Have a blessed weekend. And we'll be